Well, I wanted to get back with you. This is the third video. I'm not good at this, so y'all have to bear with me. I'm doing the best I can. Okay, listen. I was telling you about growing up, and I was telling you that the book, Merit Magic, explains how I am where I am today and how I got here. I wanted to expound on some things about me so that you can help me understand and get to the end of my life with some kind of better understanding of what's going to happen next. I doubt if we ever come to it, but I want us to discuss it. And you should discuss it for yourself as well. It's important. If you're not doing the right things to go to the right place, then what's the point? So you have to give that some thought. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing it good? Are my ancestors happy with me? Does mother care? Does daddy care? As it turns out right now, I am the last of the Mohegans in my family. Everybody's gone on my level, my brothers, my daddy, my mom, grandma. So, and I had no children. I did not want children, though, so therefore they did not come. It always looked like it was so painful to have children. And since I was so sickly as a child, I'm telling you, I was sickly. I just didn't think I wanted any more pain. So if a man wanted me to run out the door and leave him, all he had to do was mention the fact that he wanted a child, and it would be over with us. It was not open for discussion. Do not misunderstand. I like children. Children, okay, I was a child once myself. But there's a heavy responsibility to raise a child. And I really didn't want to take the time for that. So at least I recognized that I wouldn't be a good parent. So I didn't have none. I know a lot of people who do have children, oh my God, who should not have had them. Should not have opened up their legs that night and got pregnant. I can name 1,000 off the top of my head, but I won't do that. But a man, an ex-president with the letter T comes to mind. But I won't talk about that right now. I want to talk about the energy that we have going on. I want to talk about the energy that I was born. I was born at the time the energy was changing. It was coming from Pisces to Aquarius. Isn't that something? I was born in Pisces, at the end of Pisces. Then now we are full into an age of Aquarius. So the energy has changed. But look at that. How is it that someone like me, born in a small town in a South Georgia, knew about the worldly things that I just spoke on? But I grew up knowing about the energy. I grew up in a family who understood it and kind of explained it to me in a deep way. In fact, I learned it with my grandma, my mother, and Mon Dove as a kid. And it's in my book, Merit Magic. That's why the book was called Merit Magic. Because to me, the world is so magical. It's a magical world that we live in. And I lived in a world that seemed to be really magical with my mother, my grandmother, and Mon Dove. In Africa, the word Mo, M-A-A, is the Egyptian word that means power of a certain kind. Those women were called Mon Dove and Mon Sis. My grandma was Mon Sis, and Mon Dove was Mon Dove. I do believe she was related to us, but no one ever explained that to me. But she was in our world. I don't know if my world would have been as exciting if Moldav had not been in it. But we are all born at a particular time into a particular family so that we can experience particular things. I'm sure certain people that will hear this video will stop and think that about where they were, or who their family is, and maybe we can bring some more appreciation into the word family. Because family is so important. We seem to be missing out on that part. It seems that everybody just want to have fun and not identify properly with the family and the importance thereof. But that's enough right now. Let's talk about something else. The energy that I was born into was during a time of great change in America, and I would imagine all over the world. I want you to recognize that the slavery issue in America was its downfall of America. And what you're seeing now are repercussions from that era. I'm not saying that to bring fear. I'm not saying that to say anything negative, because I'm just explaining to people what has happened. When you put out certain energies, or people who put out certain energies, then they do reap the benefits or the negative things from that bad energy. Slavery was so bad, so terrible for my people, that we could not even speak on it when I first came into this realm in 1950. It was such a painful issue, but you could see it in people's face. These were people who were not born into slavery, but you could see the descendants. It was still very fresh. So much so, people did not like to talk about it. It was so hurtful, so hurtful. You could not just recover in a few years. I was born 85 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, so to speak, of freeing the slaves. That's not a lot of time in the realm of existence. 85 years is nothing. So when I came into it, I was able to feel the pain, feel the hurt, feel the sadness that so many people, Black people, carried. Those are pains you can't cure. You can't do anything. You don't know how to discuss it, which meant a lot of Black people had high blood pressure. That kind of pain turns to that kind of result when you cannot find words to express how badly you feel. It turns into a sickness. It turns into something else. Energy, people, energy is what life is. You don't see it, but you better be aware that it's there. And it is the motivating, it is what shapes us. It is what dominates the universe. So how do you know about the energy? What can you understand that will make your life better? First, you need to acknowledge that it's here, that you are energy. Everything you see, everywhere, everything is energy of some form. We're created in the form of the Creator. What is the Creator? It is massive energy. It is energy that you cannot perceive. It is the energy that controls the world. It is the energy that we call God. A lot of people call God. But unless you understand that energy, appreciate that energy, you're going to miss the boat. That was a teacher of mine in the 6th grade. She used to tell us, if you don't get this right, you're going to miss the boat. You're going to miss the boat, people, if you don't start recognizing certain things about the existence of us. Now, when I was growing up, I realized early that there had to be a change in the way the treatment of us was taking place. As I said, I wasn't in necessarily direct line of feeling it, but I knew it existed because of the people's faces that I could see. The pain that they carried from the humiliation that was doused upon them from white people. It wasn't hard to miss. It was everywhere. And because my family owned a grocery store, not no chump chain grocery store, a big grocery store, and everybody bought from us, I was able to encounter and meet and greet and read a lot of people and their energy because our store was very busy. We were very well known in the community. So I was able to study energy all the time. And I learned a lot from just not talking, just looking. My grandma used to say, Moses said, just look, don't say nothing. People used to be walking past and going this place and that place to the store, back and forth and stuff. So we would sit on the porch and just watch people. You'd be surprised what you can learn by sitting and observing. Not doing anything else, just watching people. Seeing what they do when they think people are not looking. You can tell a lot about a person if you just watch them. Just watch their face, just watch everything. So when I got in the world, I had that gift. Nobody knew it. I didn't talk about it. But everywhere I went, I was able to know much more than the people who were there. I was able to take control of the conversation, the energy in the room. I was able to extract what I wanted from that room of those people. So they had a disadvantage. They were at a disadvantage, and they were not aware of it. They always looked at me as a black woman from Georgia who couldn't have been smarter than them or couldn't have been better than them or none of that. So that was a gift to me that they were so naive. Anytime someone is naive, you can always take advantage of them. That's why they say naivete is not good for young girls. Because if you're naive as a young girl and you think you out there trying to hustle a man, you will always get taken. But because I was not naive, I just looked to them like I was not the smartest. So I was able to win the game always because my mother had taught me. The person that wins the game is the one that holds the element of surprise. If you hold the element of surprise, my dear, you will win. But in order to hold that element or to identify, you must first be very observant and know who you're working with. Know what they're about. And you can do that just by observing their energy. It takes time if you're not used to it like me, because I've been doing it all my life. It's not a problem. I've never met anyone's energy that I could not interpret. So if it is, I'd like to meet them because most people are the same, basically. And they do the same things. They either this or they're that. So it's not really. These new categories, though, they're still the same. It's just that they are intensified and they do more. But our energy has not changed the definition of it if you know how to look for what you need to look for. But in any event, you and I are going to discuss and help me understand what's going to happen to me once I pass on to the next existence, is what I call it. Going to another existence. And how would it be? What would it be? Will I see my mommy? I sure hope so. I miss her so much. She was so much fun. I could not believe to tell you how she was. Mother was somebody unbelievable. My mother, we had there were 6 children in my family. 6. I was number 5. Now that's important. You know why? Because 5 is the number for spirituality. Isn't that something? I was number 5. So, and I am very much on the spiritual track. Trying to learn, trying to do, trying to be a better person every hour of the day. So, but back to Mother. She was just so fabulous as a mother. We were 6 of us. And I promise you, each one of us thought we were the only child. My mother had a way of making you feel so important and that like you the only thing in her world. We all thought we were her only child. And then I look around, I'd be like, why don't these kids go home to their parents? Then I realized they were my brothers and sisters. And we had to share her. So then I came back into the real world. But if you knew her, you'd feel the same. Everyone in the community felt the same. Miss Irene, Miss Irene, Miss Irene, Ma Irene. They call her Ma Irene, Ma Irene. She had that MAA on her because she was smart. They would come to her for prayer. She would bless it and make it go away. She was a healer. She could take that pain that they were suffering with from their... See, let me tell you something. Things are inherited, including pain and unhappiness. Look at today. Look at all those people. I call them people. Look how they're reverting back to the KKK-ism. Look at how they have inherited that nasty energy, and now they want to put another name onto it. It ain't KKK. It ain't this. It's this. It's the Christian nationalists. We Christian nationalists. What the hell is a Christian nationalist? They just be making up shit. They be making up words. That don't even make no sense. I'm a Christian nationalist. What the hell is that? They can't tell you. What they're saying is, I'm going to hate you, but I'm going to tell you it's a Christian thing to do. I'm going to kill you and I'm going to rape your children, but I'm going to tell you it's a Christian thing to do because I got the Bible right here. I got plenty of Bibles and I'm a Christian nationalist. What the hell is that? What energy would that be? But you know what? Let me just say this. Be that way, people, creatures of whatever zone y'all live in. But know this. It will destroy you. It will destroy you. It will destroy you. Take it from a woman who knows things. I've known a lot of things all my life. I know some things about some things. I never really yearned for public adoration. I could have been out there many times, but I prefer traveling beneath the radar. When you travel beneath the radar, you can get things done that people would never expect. So I've always lived beneath the radar because I didn't want, well, I don't like a lot of people. For real, I don't. I've had a lot of friends in my world, but I choose my people. They don't choose me. I've always chose my world. It did not choose me. And that makes a world of difference to me. I like a lot of people, but I don't want to be bothered with their ass. They get on my nerve. And I know that I would probably turn into a mass murderer if I got pressed too many times. So to avoid that, I travel this road kind of like alone. Especially now because I'm losing a lot of the people that I chose throughout life. It's like every year, one or two of them pass on. So now it's to the point that I'm reaching out to strangers to help me solve some things or to get on the nerve of finding some things. You never know. Sometimes you might find out something different that you hadn't thought about. But let me just tell you this. I am not a defeated person. I am a exalted person. I could have did anything. I've always known that. And that is not a good thing to know. Because usually I just find out if I can do it. Then I don't want to be bothered with it. I have another shortcoming. My patience is short. I don't know if it's short because I have a lot to learn and I can't waste too much time on too many things. But I'll be interested to death for a minute, then I'm not interested anymore. Took me a long time to figure that out in my world. That made me go many places, do so many things, find so many things, live in a world that's constantly changing because I needed to do more, be more to find out something. Now I found it out. I'm at peace now. I know what I was looking for. I finally found it. And that's why I'm talking to y'all. Because I know if you find what you're looking for, that usually means you're coming to the end of something. So maybe it's coming to the end of my world. I don't know. It don't bother me. I'm not afraid. Actually, I'm excited. I'd like to find out what the hell happens next. I know what's happening over here. Nothing really. Y'all crazy as hell. But anyway, I enjoy talking to you. Maybe because I can't see you and you can't see me. So I can be honest and tell you some things, talk about some things. But in the future, now that I've started these videos, we are going to interact. You're going to ask me questions. You can send me emails. I don't really care. I like you. I hope you like me too. So until later, the next time I post, I'll let you know. I try to post. We got to post because we don't know how long this is going to go on. And I don't have that much time, I'm thinking. So, love you. Bye-bye.